Hey, this is Stacia, and it's time to continue set 6 of my flashcard series. And all right, so here we have flashcard number 5, and it's called Cheapo Threats. Okay, so it says, why is 95, as played in my Blitz game, a horrible blunder? And the second part is, what is the best move instead and why? Okay. Well, I definitely remember this one. So, yeah, 95, I definitely played that without thinking at all because it attacks the queen. So I thought, hey, it attacks the queen. Let's get that queen out of here. The problem is the queen does get out of here. It goes right to this square. And now there's like unstoppable mate on h7. Yeah, and I mean, you would think there's some way to defend this, but there just isn't. This is sort of the Greek gift setup. And now that I think about it, I think my opponent did do a Greek gift sacrifice. Like, if you look, they don't have their dark square or their light square bishop, and they're down a piece. So I think this is defending a Greek gift sacrifice. Yeah, so allowing the queen to get in like this is a problem. So let's look at some various ideas. From here, everything fails. If g6, queen h7 mate. If f6, queen h7 mate. The knight is guarding that, don't forget. And if we try to move the rook out, then it's just mate in 2. Queen h7, king f8, and queen to h8. Checkmate. My own queen is blocking the king's exit. Okay, so knight e5. I actually find this kind of stuff sort of fascinating in a way because, I mean, oftentimes you can defend in one move, but here's a threat where we cannot defend in one move. We need we need 2 moves to defend. So now that we know why knight e5 is a horrible blunder, let's find the best move. Now, I think I know it, but I'm going to go through the various defenses, and then let's talk about why one is the best. Okay, I think g6, g6 would be an option, I believe. If we go g6, the queen can no longer come to h5, so the queen, can go anywhere in the h file, essentially. This is a good square, so threatening checkmate. The idea of g6 is that now we can play either f6 or f5, and I would probably play f6 because it disturbs the knight. And the idea is that the queen can no longer come to h7 because we are laterally defending with our queen. So that's a pretty interesting idea. So that brings us to the second defense, which would be, why not just play f6 first? It disturbs the knight. The queen is not yet on the h file. And probably this is going to work. I'm going to check with the engine on this one, because I'm not sure what white would do. Okay, so they would go queen e6 check. So yeah, I think we're happy there. We're winning. I mean, this is winning. We're up a piece. This knight is amazing. We have an extra piece. Yeah, I'd probably just go here. Attack the knight. Yeah, I mean, go ahead, take. We're up a piece. Okay. So there's that. I'm going to turn the engine off. Okay, any other defenses? Well, we did look at moving the rook. So I actually do think that this is a defense now, because if here, queen h5, threatening queen h7, well, now we can move the queen to create luft. So create luft, not war. That's what I always say. So after check here, it's not checkmate anymore. We actually escape. Now, if I have my choice of defenses, I don't like this one as much. Our king is running around. Computer says black's totally winning, but okay. All right, turning that back off. And there's one last defense that I want to mention, Now, I think the computer showed me this one, but in the Greek gift sacrifice, when I'm white, a lot of times I base my my calculation on, can white defend the h7 square, like at all? Can they defend it in any way? And you have to ask, can a knight come to f6? And you have to ask, can a light square bishop plop itself on the diagonal? Well, we cannot do that because there's a pawn in the way. So that's the defense. Push the pawn. All right, now if queen h5, we can actually play this move, right? Very creative defense, I think. So if this were to happen, I mean, the knight can take it. I don't think that's good. So I'm going to see what the computer would do from here because I'm not quite sure. It says f takes e3. We do open that white rook. It makes me a little nervous, but now rook to c5. Yeah, this is a really cool defense. Now, this one's probably the most complicated of them all. So I'm going to say the best one is just f6. This one felt very safe to me and pretty obvious too, right? We disturb the knight. I mean, if they go here, we take it. So I think f6 is the best defense. It just disturbs the whole mating setup. And if I ask the engine, it says f6 and g6 are tied for best. But let's face it, f6 is better. I don't want to move all the pawns in front of my king if I don't have to. And rook f to e8 is next. So it likes that variation with the king running out, which, yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm just curious, like, why would this be good? Let's look at it one more time, right? Queen f6, check. Okay, the queen does defend this pawn too. That's kind of important. Yeah, I guess here we're attacking the knight. We're attacking the queen. So this looks pretty rough. So they have to go queen h4 here. Yeah, so I neglected to see that queen f6 attacks the knight, protects g7. So I'm liking this a lot better now because queen h4 is forced, and maybe we have something here. Something to liquidate. The computer gives queen h6, which queen h6. So now if they do a discovered check, like let's say they take the pawn with check, we take the queen. So that puts an end to that. Okay, so pretty interesting, but f6 is best, computer agrees. Let's go to the next one. Okay, this one is called Latvian Gambit Mainline. Yeah, sometimes I actually was experimenting. This is probably my only flashcard that asks me to reproduce a line. I've kind of gotten away from learning main lines this way. I find it's much better. If you're going to memorize lines that completely win for you. Those are better ones. So, all right, let's see if I can remember. I'm going to be guessing here. So I'm pretty sure Latvian Gambit comes from knight f3 and f5. So if I'm not mistaken, that's the Latvian Gambit. Now, I think I prepared this move. Just take on e5. I usually prefer that to taking and like dealing with the pawn. So what would black do? Oh, I think I actually remember that the main move is queen to f6. That would attack my knight. All right, so I would want to play d4. And that feels right. Now what would black do? Probably black could kick the knight this way, right? This seems right once again. And I believe the knight comes to c4. Okay, so our knight is awkward here. I'm not going to lie. Now, what should black do? Maybe take the pawn, threatening this. So probably I would play knight c3, stopping that. I like knight c3 because it actually threatens that and that as well. So I believe that black goes here. That sort of paralyzes the light square bishop, because now if we go here, developing, the black queen comes in. It's also sort of protecting the pawn. Yeah, and I think here is a key move. I believe the move is f3, if I do remember right. And I follow the Ben Feingold rule, never play f3 usually, so this would be an exception. I mean, does black take that? If black takes it, I take with a queen. If black doesn't take it, I will create a very nice center. I guess the only downside is that usually I like playing this and putting a knight on f3, but I don't see any knight around to do that. So, but this is going to free up the square for my bishop. Now, I honestly don't remember what black should do. This doesn't seem like what I remember. What would black do here? Maybe, plus, I'm also curious about this, like, what if I'd made that move? So, okay, I guess I don't really know how it goes from here. So let's just look at the answer. It'd be a good review. Okay, it says e4, e5, knight f3, f5. It's all correct so far. E takes, queen f6, d4, d6, kicking the knight, knight c4, f takes e4, that threatens d5, kicking the knight and creating a nice center. So knight c3 is a very big threat, stops d5 and threatens, you know, that thing. So queen g6, f3 is the key move. Now I think I did this, right? f3 is the key move. Now I'm going to ask the engine real quick. How's this? Okay, advantage for white, so my instincts are on. It says queen f7, attacking the knight and defending. Okay, fair enough. So f3, it says a key move. Well, you guys can read that, right? I think I set this up for you. A key move, black will never be able to use the e1 h4 diagonal. Yeah. I mean, that's why we never play f3, for that exact reason. So I would expect bishop e7. I mean, that's what I would play if I was black. Because I'd be like, hey, I'm gonna go throw a check in. And with that move in, that's more weakening. I mean, that's just my instinct. Yep, that is the move. We do take on d4, which is what I will play. Knight to h6. Okay, I vaguely remember this now. It's a weird looking move. So, okay, I think we've seen enough though. The main move, if knight c6, computer says this is fine, but what? Oh, knight c6. Yeah, knight f6 is a blunder because of e5. Wow, it's hard to imagine that. I mean, I am not looking at this in any detail, but I mean, both kings are like wide open. Why would we pawn break? But this is actually like pretty much winning for white. So yeah, if I was going to memorize a line, I would memorize what happens after this move. That's my new mentality with openings. Because then if I remember what I memorized, I win. That's usually good. Like if you memorize a main line, someone makes a different move, and you've got to figure out how to punish it very precisely. Sometimes you can punish it, and it's not that hard. Sometimes it's very nuanced, and you're not going to figure it out in a rapid game. Maybe slow time control, maybe. So, all right, I'll just look at the rest of this. Knight a6, bishop here, knight there. We offered our dark square bishop. They did not take it. Okay, so we move it. And that's the end of it. Okay. Okay, and let's do one more flashcard. Oh, this one's called Trap in the Latvian. It says, don't fall for this one. It's tempting to play h3 here, but what would black play in response? Yeah, I think I remember that. Black gets a serious initiative here. If h3, attacking the knight, I do believe black would play here. Rook takes f4 in exchange sacrifice. And if we take the rook, the other rook comes into the attack. The queen would have to retreat. And this knight's annoying. We probably have to go here. Queen d2, and then there's serious stuff. Like something is coming into f2. A knight or a rook. But both look very unpleasant. So that is the trap. That exchange sacrifice, if I recall, is very good. And if we try to ignore it, like let's say rook takes and pawn takes, well, then the bishop's coming in. Does that matter? Or the queen? Oh, and this is coming in too. There might be this check as well. That's actually probably the thing. So if takes and we take the knight, if I was black, I would throw in this check. Yeah, g3 is not defended anymore at all. The bishop's gone, the pawn's gone. So we would have to move our king, and it's going to get very dicey. Okay, let's check. All right, so if h3, computer says rook takes f4, minus 2 point... Oh, just minus 2 for black. If we take bishop h4 check, it wants g3. Oh, I didn't realize the queen was defending. Okay. But rook f8. Wow, it wants to take the rook, so that's a bad sign. Wow, if I go here, which is what I'd want to play. Oh, okay, so I missed that. Well, I missed two things. I missed that even in that other line I showed, black should throw in this move. Like if I take here and rook here. Yeah, it still wants, this just transposes, basically. Okay, well that's good to know, because if I have a Latvian Gambit and I follow that main line, it will be nice to know that I shouldn't play h3 and fall for that. So, okay, well there's 3 more flashcards, so I'm going to save those for next session. So I'll see you tomorrow, and I'll cover the final 3. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Okay, bye.